Okay, this is being recorded. So, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. So let's, for addition and subtraction, guys, you have to have the common denominator. For example, if you take A, they have a 5 and 4 as denominators. A common denominator will be 20. So you need to change the denominators to 20. And this one has to change to 20. And if you change 5 to 20, you multiply by 4. So you need to multiply this one by 4. But whatever you do at the bottom, you have to do at the top. So this will become a 12. And if you multiply 4 by 5, you get 20. So then you have to do the same thing on top here. So that's a 5. And 12 plus 5. Now, if you have the same denominator, you can add the numerator. So that would be 17 over 20. Now let's take E, where we have mixed numerals. You can do that in two ways, guys. You can change those two mixed numerals to improper fractions, or you can add the whole parts together, and then you can add the parts together, and then you put them together after that. But what I'm gonna try to change this to improper fraction. So 5, how do you change a mixed numeral to improper? You multiply 5 by 3, which is 15, and then you add the 4, that will give you 19 over 5. Plus, what about 1.5? 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, that's a 3 over 2. Well, we still need a common denominator. As you agree with me, a common denominator would be here at 10. So how can I get a 10 from 5? You have to multiply by 2 and multiply by 2 there. Multiply by 5 and multiply by 5. So what do we get? 19 times 2 is 38. And 3 times 5 is 15. And if you add 38 and 15, you get 53 over 10. But the answer must be a mixed numeral. So how many 10s go into 53? 5.
3 over 10.
3 over 10. And that's the answer. Let's do a division problem. I. In order to do division, you need the fractions to be in improper mode. So let's do that in proper mode. So that will be 5 times 2, 10 plus 3, 13 over 5, divided by 1 and 2/3, 3 times 1, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 over 3. Now, for division, guys, here's how division works. You change the division to multiplication and you flip the second fraction, 3 over 5. Now, how do you multiply? You multiply just straight across like this. 13 times 3 is 39, and 5 times 5 is 25. That's improper. Your answer should be written as mixed. So how many 25s goes into 39? There is 1, and what's left over?
14
over 25. Okay. For subtraction, guys, I would also change to improper and subtract. For example, let's take G. So that will be 6 times 4, 24, plus 1 is 25 over 6, minus 3 times 2, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 over 3. I need a common denominator, and the least common denominator here will be 6. So I need to change the 3 to a 6. You multiply by 2. You multiply by 2. So that should give you 25 over 6 minus 16 over 6, which is 9 over 6. And if you change that to a mix, there will be 1 and 3 over 6. And actually 3 over 6, you can write it as 1/2. Now, integers. How do we work with integers here? Okay. When you add, subtract integers, if they're both negative or they're both positive, you just add them up and put the sign. Look here, I have a -8 and a -2. So you just add an 8 plus 2, which is 10, and put the sign that both of them have, which is a -10. But if one is positive and one is negative, you subtract the smallest from the largest and you put the sign of the largest. So if you subtract 2 from 8, you will get a 6. And now we need to decide, is it a +6 or a -6? Since the larger one is a plus, the answer should be a plus. It's a +6. Let's take this one, C. Okay, you have a negative and a positive, so you subtract. 8 take away 2 is 6, but we need the sign now. Since 8 is the larger and it has a minus, then the minus will be the dominant in the answer. So this is how you do addition and subtraction. For multiplication and division, guys, you need to know the following. You need to know that minus times a minus is a plus, minus times a plus is a minus, plus times a minus is a minus, and plus times a plus is a plus. And same thing applies for division. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Negative divided by positive is negative. Positive divided by negative is negative, and positive divided by positive is positive. And if you don't forget about this, you should be able to do any work here. Look here, 8 divided by -2. Positive divided by negative, we know it's negative. There you go, positive divided by negative, so that will be a -4. You also need to know, guys, that negative followed by another negative means a plus. So if you see 8 minus -2, you need to change it to 8 plus 2. So just, this is another thing to add, a minus followed by another minus will give you a plus. And actually you can see it here, guys, minus minus is a plus. Let's do this one here. -8 minus -2. Look, minus with the minus, you can change this to the whole thing to a plus. And now you have -8 plus 2. And what is -8 plus 2? You have more negative than the positive. So the answer should be negative. And you just do a subtraction. -6, exactly. That's the answer. Division, let's say you want to divide those two numbers. One is negative, one positive. At least I know the answer is going to be negative because negative divided by positive is negative. But this is how you divide. You just take the -3/5, flip the division to a multiplication, and flip the second fraction, 3/2. So that would be 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 2 is 10, and since you have a negative times positive is negative, so it's -9/10. All right, so
Yeah, please, sir, can you move the paper to the left a little bit to the left?
yes. Now, is that
There we
good?
go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you simplify expressions using order of operations? Order of operations, guys. First of all, parentheses, then exponents from left to right, then multiplication or division from left to right. Whatever appears first, you do it first. And then addition or subtraction from left to right. So let's apply, for example, this on A. Well, I know I have to do multiplication first, guys. So you have to do 3 times 2, which is 6. So that would be 8 minus 2 plus 6. Now we have subtraction and addition. There is no favorite here, guys. It doesn't mean that you have to do plus because you know plus before minus. No, you just have to go left to right. So 8 minus 2 comes first, which is a 6, plus 6, which is a 12. And you know, guys, if you don't do it from left to right, you're going to get a wrong answer. For example, if a student attempt to do 2 plus 6, which is 8, and then do 8 minus 8, you get 0. That's totally a wrong answer. So just be very careful with that. Let's do G. What do we do first? Exponents. What's 2 to the third, guys?
6. Oh, no.
Not 6.
8.
8. So it's -3 times 8, which is -24. Okay, what about H, guys? That's kind of tricky sometimes. Guess students here. You need exponents first. What's -3 quantity squared?
9.
9, yes. It's not -9 because -3 times -3, negative times negative is positive. A lot of students put -9 by mistake. It's 2 by 9, which is 18. Okay, let me do the last one, which is I. Okay, we have a minus, we have multiplication, we have exponent, and we have exponent. Okay, we have to do exponents, guys, going from left to right. So look, we're gonna go 5 minus 2 times 3 square is what? 9.
9.
Plus, what's negative 2 raised to the third power? It's negative 2
4.
times negative 2 times negative 2. That will be negative 2 times
8.
negative 2 is 4, negative 8. Remember, you have 3 negatives, so that's going to give you a negative 8. Okay, now we need to do multiplication first. So you have to do 2 times 9, which is 18. So you get 5 minus 18 plus negative 8. Now you have to do these two first, going from left to right. 5 minus 18, guys, you have one positive, one negative. Once you have one positive, one negative, you subtract 5 from 18, you get 13. But what would be the sign of 13?
Minus.
Minus, because the larger number
Plus.
is minus.
Oh, minus.
Now I'm adding two numbers that are negatives. You just add them up. As I told you, if they have the same sign, it's just an addition. So that will be 21 and then minus. All right. So that's the first page. Okay, for next one, I'm just gonna do one of those. So I'm gonna do 5. The following circle graph describes the ages of the 200 men and women from the Glover City Police Force. What percent of the police? So this question is about reading graphs, guys, and tables, etc. What percent of the police force is between 33 and 50 years old? Okay, 33, 48%, exactly. That is correct. What percent of the police force is 32-year-old or younger?
40.
40, and that is correct. Because 32 year or younger, that would be the yellow, which is 30, but also will be the under 23, because that's 32 year. So you have to add 10 plus 30, which is 40. I know, so 40%. What fraction of the police force is under 23? Okay, what does it say under 23? 10%, right? Just write 10% and change it to a fraction. What's 10%, guys? That is a fraction. It's 10 over what? 100. Reduce it. If you reduce this one, will become what? 1 over 10. That's the answer. What percentage of the police force is between age 23 and 50? Okay, 23 and 50 includes this and that.
90. Oh.
No, you got 23 to 32 and 33 to 50. So 30 plus what?
78.
Yeah. Which is 78%. What's the ratio of police officers under 23 to police officers over 50? Okay, what do we have under 23? We have 10.
10%.
10 plus 12.
And 212. Yeah, that's the ratio. This is how we write the ratio, guys. We write it 10 over 12, like this. Can you reduce it?
Yeah.
By 2?
Yes.
5.
What does it become?
5
Yeah,
over
5 to 6.
5 over 6.
That is correct. Okay, let's go to 5 now. Okay, which of the, let's do 6 or 7, one of them. Okay, I'll do 6. Which of the following fraction does not reduce to 3 over 4? Okay, 6 over 8, if you reduce by 2, it will be 3 over 4, so that works. Well, negative 3 over 4 doesn't reduce to 3 over 4 because that's a negative, so that's the one. let's see, 12 over 16, guys. Can you reduce it to 3 over 4? Yeah, reduce by 4, reduce by 4. It will be 3 over 4. That works. Negative 3 divided by negative 4, reduced to 3 over 4. Negative over negative is positive. That works. 9 over 12, if you reduce by 3, you get 3 over 4. So the only one is negative 3 over 4. Number 10. Arrange the following numbers from smallest to largest. Remember, guys, the most negative one will be the smallest, and the most positive will be the largest. So which one is the most negative here?
The -4.
Yes, -4. And then the next smaller one is going to be the negative also, -1/2. And then what? The 0. Now we're done with the negatives, and now with 0. Can you tell me what's the next larger number after 0? So we got this taken care of. We got this, we got that. So the next one will be what? A quarter.
1/4, and then 2/3.
Then what? 2/3.
2/3.
And then what? 2.
2.
Yep. That's it. So if you see a question like that, how you deal with it. Next. Can you evaluate algebraic expressions? So let me do C. We need to plug in x equals -3. Just be careful, guys. Plug it in. And I'm going to put -3 here. Then +3. Okay, now we have to do inside parentheses first. Order of operations. 2 plus -3 is -1. So you get 5 times -1 plus 3. Now, guys, you have to do order of operations, multiplication first. 5 times -1 is -5 plus 3. And what is -5 plus 3?
-2.
That is correct. 7. Can you determine if a number is a solution to an equation? If they ask you this question on the final, guys, all you need to plug in the number and see if the right-hand side and the left-hand side will be the same. So is n equals -1 a solution of 2n plus 3 equals 5? Let's try. You put n minus 1 here. 2 times -1 plus 3. So what do you get? -2 plus 3. And what is -2 plus 3, guys? It's 1.
1.
And 1 is not equal to 5. So that means the answer is what? No. It's not a solution. Let me check B. If you put 6 in here, 2 times 6 is 12. Divided by 3 is what?
4.
So yes, that's a yes here. Can you simplify an algebraic expression? So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take this B and try to simplify it. To simplify it, you combine like terms. So you need to combine these two and these two. Okay. -3x minus 2x. Just do -3 minus 2, guys, and see what the answer is. So what's -3 minus 2? Negative what?
-x. Oh.
No, there is a negative and a negative, so you just add them. So
That's
-3 plus -2 will give you what?
5x.
-5x. Remember, when they have the same sign, it's an addition problem. Now here you subtract. You have a -5 and a +9. So what's a -5 and +9?
Positive 4.
Yes, that's correct. So it's -5x plus 4. Let's do D. Distribute property, guys. First of all, you have to distribute. -8x minus 24. Okay. -8x, I cannot combine it with anything because it's the only one that has -8x in it. So just leave it alone. Guys, you can combine these two.
19.
minus 19. That is correct.
Oh, minus 19.
Yep. All right, let's go. Can you solve linear equation involving one step, two steps, removing parentheses, combining like terms? Okay, let's do a few of those. I'm gonna select C to begin with. Okay, to solve an equation, guys, you have to isolate x. So x has to be alone on one side. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add 2 to both sides. So now you get 4x. You do the opposite always. -2, to get rid of it, you just do the opposite. So we'll give 4x. -5 plus 2, guys, is -3. And can someone tell me what to do now to solve for x?
Divided by 4.
You are correct. All right, let's do.
X. Yeah.
Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, that is the X, right?
Yeah, that is x, correct. Let's do G. 3x plus 5 equals 7x minus 3. Okay. I'm going to put the x's on one side and the numbers on the other side. So look what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. And that will give me 3 minus 7. What is 3 minus 7?
Minus
Minus
4x.
Minus 4x plus 5 is -3. Now, guys, I need to get rid of the -5 by plus 5. So you do the opposite. So you get -4x equals -3 minus 5, -8. You add them up when they have the same sign. And now finally divide by -4.
Two.
2, exactly. K. Let's solve for K. Any ideas, guys? How would you solve for X and K?
Divided by negative
Right.
2 over 3.
Yeah, you can do that, definitely. Okay, so this and that cancels out, so you get X. Now let's do this. That's 9 over 1. Division changes to multiplication, and you flip the second fraction. It would be -3 over 2. Okay, let's multiply. You multiply straight across this way.
Do we leave it as an improper fraction or do we change
No,
it?
you change it to mixed usually, yeah. So that will be -27 divided by 2. And then you can do how many 2's go into 27? There are 13.
13.
1/2 and negative.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I connect with you about that because
That's good.
I just registered for Math 141 yesterday.
That's
And
good.
he went to. So I just want to thank you for that.
Oh,
But
sure.
I will be struggling for another 2 semesters before I get in the nursing program, and I only have 1 class left.
I know.
It's
That's good.
just-
I'm glad you're
it's
taking
just-
advantage of this.
Yeah, it's just helpful. Thank you so much.
Sure. Number 10, write and solve equation that best describe the given situation. Okay, guys, if they give you a statement and they ask you to translate to an equation, 10 subtract from twice a number is 15. How would you write this one?
10 subtracts
From twice a
twice a
number. So from, what comes after from, guys, has to be first. So twice a number will be 2x, and we are subtracting 10. Is means an equal sign, so you always just put an equal 15, and that would be the equation.
Okay.
Let's do 17. 5 more, so that's a 5. More means a plus. 7 times a number, just 7x, is equal sign 8 times the number, so you just put what? 8 what? X. And that would be the equation. All right.
Mhm.
Number 18. Culinary arts students Lorraine, Troy, and Shane decided to bake a huge birthday cake. They need 6 pounds of flour to bake the cake. Troy brought 2.5 pounds. Lorraine brought 1 2/5 of a pound flour. How much flour should Shane bring so that they have in? Well, first of all, guys, we have to add them up and see how much do they have in total. So we have to add these two. Okay, let's add them. We're gonna add the fractions. So change it to improper. 2 times 2, 4 plus 1 is 5/2. And 5 times 1, 5 plus 2, 7/5. Common denominator, I think, guys, you agree it should be 10.
Mm.
That's times a 5, times a 2, times a 2, times a 5. So I have 25 over 10 plus 14 over 10, which is 39 over 10. Now 39 over 10, guys, change it to a mixed. Will be 3 9/10 of a pound. But we need 6 pounds. So how much Shane should bring? How much more do we need?
6
Okay. So you have a 3 pounds and 9/10. We need 2 more pounds. 2 plus 3 will give me what? 5.
5.
5 and 9/10, but we need exactly 6. So what's missing from 9/10 to make it a 6, guys?
110.
1/10. Very good. And that would be the answer. Next question. Okay, let me do 20. A recipe for 5 pies needs 2.5 cups of flour. How many pies can you make with 4 cups? Put the 4 cups under the cups. And this is the missing here part. That's what we need. And this is why I tell students, when you have 3 quantities, guys, and you need to do the fourth one, do cross multiplication like this.
Oh.
So look, to find, the missing quantity, how many pies here? You multiply those 2 numbers that are facing each other and divide by this one. So it will be 5. This is a proportion times 4, which is what?
9.
20 divided by 2.5. That will be 20 divided by 1 divided by 2.5. You need to change it, guys, to
5.
improper. So it would be 5/2.
Mhm.
And guys, when we divide the fractions, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal.
Mhm.
And you get 20 times 2 is 40, divided by 5 is 8. So you get 8 pies. That would be the answer. That's 8. 12. What's the ratio 56/42 in simplest form? Just reduce it, guys. It's a reduction. How can you reduce 56/42? I can reduce by 2, which is 28/21. Can you reduce by another number, 28 and 21?
No.
Can you think? There is one number. Yes, you can reduce 28 and 21 by
3.
7.
7.
Oh, 7.
4/3.
Yep. Okay, 24. What's the unit price? You have to use calculator here. When the calculator is available, use it, guys. So that will save you. So
Time.
a unit price is the dollar amount divided by the number of units. So you just take, let me show you. You just take the 495 and divide it by 15. And then you can figure out the price per ounce, 0.33. So 495 divided by 15, which is 33 cents. Okay, 25. Which is a better buy? Better buy, guys, means cheaper. 12 hot dogs for $3.94 or 18 hot dogs for $5.95. So what I will do, I just figure out the cost of each hot dog and each one. So you do $3.94 divided by 12. I got 0.328. And let's see the other one.
0.033.
$5.95 divided by 18. $0.33. They're almost the same. But this is cheaper. This is a little bit less. It's not very cheap. It's not much cheaper, but it is. Okay.
Here's the best one.
That's the best one. 27. Suppose 13 out of 25 students who were enrolled in Math 074 passed the class. What fraction of the students did not pass the class? Well, if 13 passed, guys, out of 25, you know 12 did not pass. And he wants the fraction, so it would be 12 out of 25. And you write it like this, 12 over 25. 29. Suppose the local market sells 5 pairs of socks for $5.86. How much is the unit price? So you just do 5.86, guys, and divide it by 5. Okay, let's see what the answer is. I think it's $1.17. So $1.17. That's cheap. I have to find out where you get those socks. 30. Solve the following proportion, guys. When it comes to proportion, it's a cross multiplication. I would like you to use a cross multiplication. Watch, look like this. So to find x, guys, you multiply 3 by 2, which is what? 6, and divide by what? The one that's facing x. So it will be x equals 6 divided by 5, which is 1.2. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what's x? Can someone tell me what would be x here? Cross multiplication.
3 over
3 times 4, and then over what?
2.
Yep. And that would be a 6.
6.
Talking about proportion, we're getting there. Set up a proportion and solve. A baseball player gets 8 hits in the first 18 games. So look, 8 hits in 18 games. If he continue the same pattern, how many hits will he get in 45 games? So you put games under games, and this is the missing. And as I go, guys, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm just gonna keep the cross multiplication idea. So what would be the question mark here? 8 times what? 45 divided by what?
18.
18. Okay, let's see. $20. So 20 hits. C, show you it's exactly the same thing. Of every 117 parts manufactured by the certain machine, 3 will be defective. So for every 117, 3 will be defective. How many parts were manufactured by the machine if 8 were defective? So defective has to be under defective. So the 8 will be here, guys. And we need this. And cross multiplication. So what would that be? 117 times what?
8.
8 divided by 3.
Over 3.
As simple as that. 312. E. A truck travels 120 miles on 6 gallons of gas. So 120 miles, 6 gallons. How many gallons of gas will it take to travel 200 miles? You see, guys, I put a mile under mile. If you put the 200 here, it will be a wrong answer. And then we need this cross multiplication. So what would that be? 6 times 200 divided by what? 120. Okay, so it would be 10. Okay, now we're going, guys, to converting between percents, decimals, and fractions. Just you need to know that the definition of percent, n% means n divided by 100. That's what n% is. So if I go this 72%, to write it as a fraction, you just write 72 over 100. But you might need to reduce it a little bit. So if I reduce by 2, you get 36 over 50. If I reduce by 2, you get 18 over 25. And that's it. Can't reduce this anymore. Okay, how do you change a percent to a decimal, guys? To change a percent to a decimal, you move the decimal point 2 digits to the left and remove the percent sign. So look, 72, I don't see a decimal place, so just put it toward the end and move it 2 digits to the left. It will be 0.72. If you forget, guys, how to change a percent to a decimal, just write 72% as a fraction on the calculator, which is 72 over 100. And look, it's going to give you the answer, 0.72. That's the decimal. Okay, how do you change a decimal to a percent? So if you have a percent, you move the decimal 2 digits to the left. If you have a decimal, you move the decimal point 2 digits to the right. So what would 0.05 become as a percent? If you move it 2 digits, the decimal point. So you guys agree will become what? 5%. And what's 5% as a fraction? It's 5 over 100.
5 over 100.
Reduce by 5.
1 over 10.
1 over 20.
20, all
Right? Okay, let's do this one. How do I change a percent to a decimal? Okay, again, move the decimal point 2 digits to the left. So we need to move it 2 digits to the left, but I don't have 2 digits, so I need to put a 0 here. So it will be 0.001. Change the percent to a fraction. By definition, n% means n over 100. So 0.01% means 0.01 over 100. But this is not a fraction, guys. A fraction has to have a whole number and a whole number there. Oh, 0.1, sorry, not 0.01. 0.1 over 100. This is not a fraction because the numerator is a decimal. How can I get rid of the 0.1 here, the decimal point? What would you do? So this is 0.1 divided by 100. We're gonna make it a fraction.
1 over
You need to get rid of the
100,
decimal.
1000.
So you multiply, if you multiply the top by 10, you have to multiply the bottom by 10. If you multiply the top by 10, guys, you get a 1 over 1,000. And 1 over 1,000, guys, is 0.001. All right. I think that's very important part. Question 33, it's one of the most important parts right here. All right. Set up a proportion and solve. What is 12% of 24? I don't know how your teacher, just taught you to do this. There are so many ways to compute this, but one easy way, guys, is to translate what you're reading to an equation and solve it. Watch. What I tell students, it means n or x. Is, I tell my students, it means equal. 12%, I tell my students, change it to a decimal, which is 0.12. Of, guys, in mathematics means multiplication. And you just multiply 0.12 times 24. $2.88. Okay, let's do B. 36% of what number is 55.8? Watch, guys. 36%, change it to a decimal, 0.36. Of means multiplication. What do you want to use for what?
X.
X or N. Is equal 55.8. Okay, how do you solve for N now? Divide by what? By 0.36 to get rid of 0.36. So it will be 55.8 divided by 0. I got 155. Okay, let's translate C, guys. Let me show you how to translate C. What percent N of multiplication 200 is
Equal
102? Okay, can you guys tell me how to solve for N now? I need to get rid of 200. So what do I do here?
divide
Divide by 200.
200.
So that will be
So 100 over 2
divided by 200, which is 0.51. But he wants the answer as a percent. So change 0.51 to a percent, which is a 51%. Okay. Let's do F. Shoes that usually sell for $25 are on sale for $20. What's the percent discount? Okay, how would you do the percent discount? Okay. Look, I'm going to give you this formula, guys. Rate equals amount divided by base. You can always use this formula. Rate means the percent. Base means the original number, and the amount is the amount in question. Here it's a discount. So if you want the rate of discount, guys, you need to figure out the amount of discount and divide it by the original price. How much is a discount here? We say it sells for $25, it's on sale for $20. So what's the discount here? 5.
20. Wait, over 25. 20
No,
over
the
25.
amount of discount will be 5 divided by the base. Which one is the base? The base is the original price, guys. What was the
25.
original price? 25, exactly. And if you divide 5 by
25 divided
25,
5,
guys,
it's gonna be
look,
5.
here you go. 5 divided by 25. It's 0.2. Change it to a percent, it will be 20%.
2, 2,
It's 0.20 or 20%. Okay. H, a real estate agent gets commission of 3% of the price of each house he sells. If he sold a house for 289,500, what's the commission? How would you do that? That should be an easy question, guys. So, you know, you get, let's say you're a realtor, you sell a house for 289,000 and your commission is 3%. How do you figure out how much money you'd be making? What would you do? You multiply the 3% by the original amount, which is 289,500. So your amount of commission will be the rate of commission times the original number. So it will be 3%. You need to change 3% to a decimal, 0.03 times 289,500. So it will be 0.03 times 289,500. And that should give you a commission, which is 8,685. Not bad. Tom spends $30 a week on gas. If the gas price goes up by about 4%, how much should Tom be spending now on gas? How would you figure this out? So we know it was 30. It's gone up by 4%. What do you expect Tom to? What is it?
We're gonna times 30 times.
Yeah, 30 times 4%, exactly.
04.
Which is 1.20, that's dollars. And then that's the increase. So what do you do with the $1.20? Add it to what? To 30. And he's gonna be doing 30 plus 1.20 will be 31.20. All right. How do you find, guys, mean, median, mode, and range? In order to do that, you need to sort the data in order first. So if you have this question, first of all, you have to rearrange your data in order from smallest to largest. So let's rearrange that. I think 120 is the smallest. Then you have 122. Then you have 220, 125. Then you have 139.
39.
Then you have 167 or 145. Then you have 167.
Mhm.
Then you have 210 and then 90.
10.
Okay. To find the mean, guys, you need to add them up and divide by how many do we have?
Wait.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you add them up and divide by 9. That's how you find the mean.
Okay.
But how do you find the median? After you rearrange the data, the median is the value in the middle. Look, this is an easy way to figure out the median, guys. Watch. Cross one number off from the right and from the left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Oh, this is the leftover. That's the median. That's the middle.
Oh, that's an easy way.
Yeah. You always can do that. That's the median. He wants the mode. The mode is the value that occurs most often. I see 125 repeated twice, so the mode will be 125.
Mhm.
The range is the difference between the smallest value and the largest value. So the range here, guys, will be
950 minus 120.
Hmm.
which is 830. All right. Convert. Can you convert from one unit of measure to another? In order to convert, guys, Fahrenheit to Celsius or Celsius to Fahrenheit, we're gonna need to provide you with the formula. So you'll be given the formula. For example, Celsius will be this formula here. This is 5/9 F minus 32. That's the formula for Celsius. And for Fahrenheit will be 9/5 C plus 32. These are the formulas. You won't be able to do it without the formulas. So to change Celsius, let's say 52 degrees to Fahrenheit. So you just put 52 here and take 90 divided by 5, multiply by 52 and add 32. So at 52 degrees Celsius, that's very, very hot, guys. Watch. So let me show you. So you do 9/5. Then you multiply by 52. And then you add 32. That's very hot, 125 degrees, 125.6. So I'm assuming you will be provided with the formulas if you are asked to do anything like that. And right here probably as well. So if I want to change from milligrams to grams, here's the advice that I give students for this one, guys. To change it from a small unit to a large unit, it's a division problem. So small to large, divide. And large to small, multiply. So let me show you. For example, here we're going from milligram to gram. It's division because we're going from small to large. But division by what? You know that 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. So you probably be given this information. So you just divide 25 by 1,000. And this is what? 0.025 grams. Let me see. Foot to inches. We know 1 foot is 12 inches. And if you want to go from 12 feet to inches, you're going from large to small. Large to small, guys, I said you multiply. Now multiply by what? We know 1 foot is 12 inches. So you multiply 12 by 12. That's how you figure it out. Pounds to kilograms. We know that 1 kilograms, guys, is 2.25 pounds. So we're going from pound to kilogram. A pound is smaller than kilogram. So we're going from small to large. From small to large, it's a division. But division by what? Division by this. They will give you this number here. So you just take 165 and divide it by 2.25. Which is, let me see what the answer is. $73.3 kilograms.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Are you here? Are you here to give us the final exam for today at 1:30?
No, this is a review. We're reviewing for Math 80. So if you're doing the Math 80 review, we haven't started yet. We will start once we're done here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're here for Math 80, we haven't started. I mean, you're in the right room, but I'm doing something else now. So I'll start. We still have. Yeah. And next. A little bit of geometry, guys, to end this with. Find the parameter and area of each figure. Be sure to include correct units in your answer. Yeah, just be careful with the units. Units of area, guys, are squares, and units of volume are cubes, and units of length are just standard units without squares or cubes. Here he wants the parameter. Parameter is the distance around the shape. So if you want to find a P here, just add the distance around the shape. So it will be 12.3 plus 6.1 plus 12.3 here and plus 6.1 there. So that will be what? 12.3 plus 6.1, it's 18.4, and another 18.4, it will be 36.8. And what would be the unit? It's meter. So if you have this question as a multiple choice and they put meter square will be wrong. It has to be meter. Now area. Area is a square, so the area would be here. 12.3 times 6.1. And let's see what that is. Which is 75.03 square meter. Okay, here the distance around the shape P would be a 7, a 10, a 7, and a 10. So 7 plus 7 plus 10 plus 10. You don't count the inside doesn't count. So that will be 34 yards. Area of a parallelogram, guys, is base times height. So the base is 10 and the height is 5, and that's 50 yards squared. For a triangle, P is the distance around the shape. You don't add the inside, so it will be 10 plus 17 plus 21. That's the parameter. Area of a triangle is half base times height. Half base is 21 times height, which is 8. So that will be 84 foot squared. P parameter, it's distance around the shape. So 27, 47, 48 feet. Okay. What about D now? Let's find parameter around D. So I need this, that's missing. So if this is a 4, guys, and that's a
13
13,
minus 4.
you guys agree with me that should be a 9? Because 4 plus 9 is 13.
Yes.
And what about this, guys?
5.
3.
5, yes, 3 and
Oh,
a 2,
plus
very
2.
good, 5. And now I can find the parameter, which is a 5 plus 13 plus a 3 plus a 9 plus a 2 plus a 4, and add them up. 18, 21, 30, 36 feet. Now he wants the area. Let's see how you're gonna do the area. Look, in order to do the area, guys, I'm gonna split it up into 2 rectangles and find the area of this big guy and then the area of the small one. What's the area of the big rectangle? But do you guys agree it's 13 times
13
3?
times 3.
And what's the area of the small one? It's 2.
2 times 4.
And that's it. $47 foot squared. $39. Find the circumference and the area of the circle. The circumference, guys, is given by this formula, 2 pi r. And radius is half of the diameter. He gives you the diameter here. So my radius is actually 7/2 or 3.5. So your circumference will be 2, pi is 3.14, and then multiply by 3.5. Let's see what the answer is. 2 times 3.14 times 3.5. It's 21.98. Inch. Now, what about area? Area of a circle is given by this formula, pi r squared, which is 3.14 times r, which is 3.5, but then squared. And when you use your calculator, guys, you have to do the 3.5 squared first. So 3.5 times 3.5 times 3.14. 38.47. And the unit is inches square. Same thing here. You have the radius, which is 3 centimeters. Just use C and A, same formula. Number 40. Find the area and parameter of this one, just like the previous exercise, guys. Okay. For P, I need all the dimensions. So you guys agree with me that this is a 10 here, that's a missing 10. And I need this, that's a 6. And who can tell me what this one is?
Nine.
I know you did 8 plus 9, but you forgot about the 4 here.
5.
Is it 5?
5, yes. 8 plus 4 is 12, another 5. So P will be, let me start here. 5 plus 10 plus 17 plus 10 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6. There you go. 15, 32, 42, 50, 56, 60, 66 kilometer. Area. For the area, guys, here's what we can do. We can find the big area first. Which is what? 17 times 10,
17,
right? Times 10, sorry.
Times.
And then this I don't want. This was included in the big area, but that's not, we don't want it. That's outside. So we subtract this area. What's the area of this? 4 by what?
4.
Times 6.
4 by
times 6,
6. So 170 minus 24, which is 146 and kilometer squared. 41. Find the volume. If you have a rectangular box, the volume is easy. Length times width times height. So you just do 6 times 16 times 4. So that will be 384, and the unit is millimeter. You see, the unit is cubed here. And for 41, B, this is a cylinder, guys. The volume of a cylinder is given by this formula. It's a pi times radius square times height. Okay, he says pi is 3.14. And he says the radius is what? 7.
7 square.
And he says the height is 18.
18.
Okay, on your calculator, 3.14 times 7 times 7 times 18. And the answer is 2,769.48 meter cubed. Okay, guys.